Oh, hello and welcome to the NFL Weekend Update with Miles and Kyles. This is Miles, this is Kyles, and we're here to tell you about the NFL news this week. Big news today, the Dallas Cowboys acquire George Pickens via trade from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Miles, I think this is all you.
Why? Because we're the two criminals on this topic. We have a shared history. No, actually, I'm very excited as a George Pickens owner in the Dynasty League that I'm going to win because I just acquired league winner, the running back for Cowboys last year. But no, I think Pickens going.
Regal
Dowdle, thank you. I'm a big Dowdle guy. I think Pickens going to the Cowboys is great news if you own George Pickens on a fantasy football team, which we really need to change the verbiage of owning players on fantasy football teams. But other than that, it feels
We
good.
already actually have, Miles. You are non-PC. You're a manager.
Oh, are you woke? I didn't know.
I am woke. You're the one who's not. You're
Wake up, Jamie.
What type of crimes is George Pickens going to do now that he's in Dallas?
Now that he's in Dallas? Dude, Pickens is going to be wearing the reunion tower around his neck at the next home game. Like, that's what's going to be. It's going to be icy as fuck.
Sir, a second receiver has hit reunion tower. This is beautiful though, because there's nothing more toxic than a recently banished Steelers wide receiver and current Cowboys wide receiver. This could be the crime of the century. Is he going to chokehold a loved one against a wall, or maybe also choke a female on a bed that's full of guns, or
if you're a
maybe he's going to
gambling
kill
type,
a teammate in a car crash? It's just
if you're a gambling type with that elevator thing, you can actually parlay that with which floor the crime's committed on.
It's going to be an automotive crime. It's going to be a Rashi Rice.
possibilities of what crime he's going to commit are endless, but the possibilities of the Cowboys making the Super Bowl are still zero.
Jadeveon Clowney was released from the Panthers today, which opens up a baby name for me. I can't wait for Jadeveon Jakes to come.
Little Jadeveon's going to fit right in at all the elementary schools in your neighborhood.
Yeah. Well, that's why I need to have a name like Jadeveon, because he has no chance of making the football team
100%.
if he doesn't have a name like that.
Yeah, and that way, if he's just like really terrible, even when you transfer, he still has a chance.
That helmet popping tackle on that Michigan running back really just endeared you to life for him.
It made his whole career. That one play, it was it.
You're not wrong.
He almost sat out the next season. You remember that? Because he was like, we're going to have a Jadeveon Clowney rule where if someone's that dominant as a sophomore in college, we're going to let him into the NFL 1 year early.
Dude, I've killed so hard at an open mic, I almost quit comedy, so I get it.
Oh, do you guys hear about this? Aaron Rodgers showed up to the Kentucky Derby with a wedding ring on. And when asked if he was married, his best friend, AJ Hawk, who was there with him in the same picture, AJ Hawk was like, I don't know, man. Kind of a mystery to me.
Yeah, but cut out of that picture was his new bride, RFK Jr.
That's what
he's married to the game, baby.
I thought for sure Aaron's plan backfired on him and he had to get married to one of his friends to avoid deportation.
That's just a signal that he's coming back to the league. He's not retiring.
Oh, that's what it was. It was a ring. It was a shout out to everybody like, hey, you guys think I'm leaving?
Now that he's married, do you think Brett Favre sends him more or less dick pics?
No change.
We
no
can't
change.
count out that it's not Brett Favre that he's married to.
It could be Brett.
Pete Carroll, while he was head coach of the Seahawks, put the LA Rams in a local hotel where he knew there were furry conventions being put on at that time, which was a pretty funny idea at the time. But with Odell and Sean McVay on the same team, it actually really backfired on them. They were super into it. Matt Stafford, Kelly. Do you think Kelly probably wasn't a fan?
I think it just really depends on what animal, man. I feel like furry nowadays is such a broad term we just throw around so loosely. Because, I mean, like, I wouldn't fuck any animal, but I'd fuck some animals.
Yeah, if it was like a hot squirrel.
Oh, yeah.
Zootopia 2 is coming out this year.
Yeah, for real, dude. And if you don't think as I say, if you don't think there's already plenty of porn parodies of that on the internet, you are clearly not new, or you're clearly very new to the internet.
Yeah, on 4Kids YouTube, I think there are.
That's
you go down deep enough.
That's just the next season of Bluey.
Look into it, Kyle.
Bluey, these furry balls, you know.
But don't look into it too hard. We have a new pope for the Catholic Church, and unfortunately for all of us in the NFC North, he is a Bears fan.
The Pope.
I've never felt better than having Caleb Williams as a manager.
Well said. So actually, I hate to admit this, but I actually did a prank when they were deciding who the Pope was going to be. I actually ahead of time called the odds-on favorite, the Italian one, and I pranked him and said he was going to be Pope.
I heard that Shadur Sanders was supposed to be elected Pope, but he just kept sliding back and back and back until they got to this guy from Chicago.
Arrivederci or whatever, bitches. Is that Italian?
Yeah.
I like now that communion is going to be Malort and deep dish.
John Brown made that joke already.
No fucking way.
On my Facebook post about it. I was almost going to ask him if I could use that joke for tonight. And now I'm just going to pretend like you made it up.
I was going to be so like, I was like, oh, John Brown thought of that? I'm such a good comic. And then you're like, you thought of it? I'm like, oh.
Saquon Barkley said, for all of the haters of the tush push, basically shove it up your ass because we're still doing it. And I don't blame him. If I was Saquon, I would want to have every opportunity I could to get my hands on Jalen Hurts' booty.
I have a pitch that I think Jamie is going to love. Tush push, it's the most controversial play in football right now. I think we can all agree. I think what we need to do is we need to have a best ass contest every year. And whoever has the best ass in the NFL gets to make the call as the push tush legal for that season.
Which ironically, our Fresh Baked Cakes for Goodness Sakes award this year on this podcast was awarded to
Saquon Barkley. Perfect. It fucking that dude. It's so good. It's like how in baseball, like you know how they do the All-Star game and it determines who gets home field advantage for the World Series or whatever. Yeah. Like that's what this is. This is that for football. It's the ass award. You get to. We can call it the tush. I don't know. The cush tush. I don't know. We'll work on the title. I'm not good at that part. But regardless, this award,
the tush push advantage.
It comes with the advantage of deciding, does the tush push
the Lord benefit? Of the tush.
And here's a fun thing to ask yourself. Which teams most benefit from the tush push? And which teams would be a hard, like, nah, we ain't built for that?
Green Bay stinks at it. They're soft as fuck. I would say probably the Rams now that Aaron Darnold is gone. But they have Jared Verse and they can stuff. Everybody sucks. They can't beat the Eagles though.
Mm-hmm. It's Saquon and dude. I mean, honestly, it's a dynamic duo with their quarterback running back situation there.
The Lions are so afraid of it that their first round draft pick was literally a tush push stopper. That's the only thing he's good at.
Yeah. That's like getting a goalie that's just the size of the goal. He doesn't have to be good. You just got to do that one thing.
Oh, I was watching, speaking of hockey, which we'll cut this out, but I was watching the Stars last night and Winnipeg pulled the goalie. I think they should add a rule in hockey to where if you pull the goalie on offense and you get an extra skater, the other team should have an option to pull a skater and put the backup goalie in.
Second, two goalies? Oh, that's sick, dude. How are you going to cut this segment when that's your proof that it's your idea? You're about to get ganked by the NHL, dude.
It'll be at the end of the video. I'll put it at the end of the video.
Yeah, you want video evidence, dude. Like, honestly, did John Brown make that joke on the internet first? Because I think that might be mine.
I was gonna say someone said that in the Blues subreddit a couple days ago.
Son of a bitch!
Really?
About two goalies. If
no
they
shit.
go 6 skaters, you should be able to take away a forward and put in an extra goalie.
Well, check out the NFL Weekend Update with Miles and Kyle's if you want news reported after somebody else has already reported it.
Sweet, dude. I'm so unoriginal. I love hearing. I mean, Reddit's pretty original though. CJ Gardner-Johnson and a few other NFLers this offseason have gone under anesthesia to get a full body tattoo done on them while they are not awake anymore. And CJ Gardner-Johnson loved his new tattoo he got. He was not so psyched about him losing a kidney during the process.
I hate that, dude. What a bitch move. I think part of the tattoo process is like if I see a dude that's got tattoos on like, say, his elbows or his nipples, I'm not fucking with that, dude. But if I know you can go under anesthesia, dude, I'll bitch slap your ass all day. Let's fucking get drunk and fight.
This is the same conversation I had with Natalie about having an epidural earlier.
Yeah, like your wife needs to man the fuck up and push that baby out naturally, like the Chicago Pope would want.
The original tush push.
I think the Chicago Pope is kind of pro epidural, but anyways.
Yeah, but he's a bitch. Who cares?
That's what my mom said. That my mom did say that.
That joke was entirely for your mom.
He's a Marxist woke commie.
Yeah. Hell yeah, dude. You and my mom should talk about it.
Oh, we will at the 4th of July. Don't worry.
A Colorado football fan is suing the NFL for emotional distress for how far Shedeur Sanders fell in the draft to the Cleveland Browns. And ironically, every single Cleveland Browns fan is also wondering if they can sue the NFL.
I don't believe in reparations unless you were drafted to the Browns.
If you're drafted to the Browns, part of your signing bonus should be at least 40 acres and a mule.
They're not like the rest of us.
Oh, we're talking about reparations. I don't know.
All right. Well, I'll decide later if I'm going to leave that in or not.
Let's all agree we let Natalie decide if that stays in or not.
Yeah.
Natalie doesn't get, if Natalie gets creative control of the podcast, it's over.
Oh no.
I'm not posting anything. Speaking of Shedeur Sanders to wear the number 12 for the Cleveland Browns because he'll be run out of town twice as fast as number 6, Baker Mayfield. If Dylan Gabriel has anything to say about it. Did you hear about this? Dylan Gabriel was talking to a bird before the draft.
That bird back there. What are they saying? Cleveland Browns 94. That's what he said.
And he predicted the exact pick and team he was going to be drafted to, which is even more proof that birds aren't real.
That's my favorite. Literally, I think that is the truest conspiracy theory. Like, it makes too much sense.
Yeah, I mean, ground birds are definitely real because I've shot a turkey and it's real.
Of course, yeah, but the flying ones, come on.
Most of them.
You think
some
they
of them
fly
are
in a
definitely
V?
real.
The V flying ones are the fakest of all. That was created for a movie about hockey in the 90s. It is the only time I've ever believed in it.
That's how they gaslit us into believing the flying V exists.
That's literally, they're like, yeah, that's a thing, kids. Make sure when you see it in the real world, you're not scared by it.
I wonder if Trump knows about this. These are Canadian geese that are flying over our territories.
We got to shoot them down.
We got to shoot them down. So the Met Gala happened this week. Here we go. Colin Kaepernick here looking absolutely great. And I don't want to hate on this outfit too much because it's a great outfit. All right. But I do want to mention that he looks like he's on his way to an interview for Defense Against the Dark Arts at Hogwarts.
100%. But I do think it's a smart idea, functionality speaking, that with an open cape design, he could easily take a knee at any moment.
I do like the Mockingjay, the pendant here. I love this outfit. I would love to hate on Colin Kaepernick. Like, the shoes are sweet too.
I love Colin Kaepernick, but I'll notice he's not wearing a ring, which makes me think that's a girlfriend, not a wife, proving that nobody's literally willing to sign him.
Uh-huh.
He is covering that left hand. You got to keep an eye on that. A lot of rings. None of them are Super Bowl rings, though. Living in his high school days, probably some high school state championships, if I had to guess. And we did have one more. And
I do believe he's got a diamond-studded pick in that throw, which is pretty sick.
I would love to hate on these guys too, but I mean, Jalen Hurts looks absolutely sensational.
Dude, honestly, I'm impressed. You can't usually wear a beret and not look gay.
Yeah, he's the straightest beret. Yeah. There are Army Ranger green berets, and then Jalen Hurts is just slightly below them in masculinity. And then there's nothing in between. Basement is the next man wearing a beret, and he's definitely gay.
Jalen Hurts is such a man that he could be dressed as a bundle of sticks, and I'd still think he's straight.
Well said, Miles. Donald Trump was gifted a Commander's jersey.
We must listen to different news sources, because where I heard is that he sent it back and requested a Redskins jersey.
Which might be coming back, by the way. Sign the executive order, Trump.
I'm just really glad that we're finally keeping politics out of sports.
Oh, wow. What a big jersey. It's One of the biggest jerseys I've ever seen. Well, who fell harder than Shedeur Sanders?
That lady in the 90s that couldn't get up.
What about the Pittsburgh Pirates guy who's alive? So we can make fun of him now. He's probably paralyzed, but he's not even paralyzed. He's alive and he's not paralyzed, so we can make fun of that dumbass who
Nice.
fell.
Kamala Harris after she refused to go on Joe Rogan.
That dude on 9/11 who said, "Fuck it, I'm not going to burn to death."
Natalie said Joe Biden on his bike. That's a pretty good one.
Oh,
My name's Jamie Jakes for Miles and
Oh, fuck.
Kyle's. We'll see you next week.
I forgot we were recording.